This week on the National Football League. And this week on the National Football League, a lot of really cool things went down.
Colin had his chance to be here.
In the most unpredictable moment of the season, Nathan Peterman was benched halfway through the absolute butchering of the Bills by the Ravens, even though he exceeded expectations by only throwing 2 interceptions. This forced the Bills' hand early as they said Project's 7th overall pick Josh Allen will start next week. If only they had a veteran quarterback to bridge the gap until Josh Allen was actually ready to start. Rookie QBs were headlining the news this week. Sam Darnold had a perfect passer rating after throwing a pick 6 on the very first throw of his career. But temper your expectations, Jets fans. The last 2 QBs to do that have both shown their penis off without permission. It's only week 1, but it's never too early for a kicking shit show that results in a tie, as the Browns and Steelers tied 21-21. Not only did this break the Browns' 17-game losing streak, but it was the first game for the Steelers since the disappearance of Le'Veon Bell. For more on the search for Le'Veon Bell, we go to Detective Randy in the Steelers locker room. Is Le'Veon Bell in the drawer? Is Le'Veon Bell behind the silver bar? Is Le'Veon Bell under the sink? Is Le'Veon Bell in the shower? Is Le'Veon Bell under this bottle? Is Le'Veon Bell behind this door? No! This week on Overreactions, legit or quit. Jimmy G is so attractive. But he had a sub 50% completion percentage and 3 interceptions. I say quit. The Washington DCers destroyed the Cardinals. They're legit. And maybe I'm right about them. Beautiful boy Patrick Mahomes, he's legit. In case you haven't been living in the 21st century, the Cowboys suck. So quit on them. Khalil Mack single-handedly turned the Bears into a Super Bowl contender. They're legit. Joe Flacco looked like he's not Joe Flacco. They're legit. Ryan Fitzmagic, legit. Look out for him. The Colts benched Jacoby Brissett for the entire game for some snowboarder. Quit. So I just finished watching the Packers-Bears highlights since I turned the game off at halftime. Yeah, I'll go with that. In quarterback news, Nick Foles will start week 2, which means another 3 hours of Chris Collinsworth orgasming about the Philly special. Here with us this week, we have a special guest breaking down the most complex play of all time, former offensive coordinator for the Skagit County Recreation Blue Team, Coach Magoo.
3rd down and 5. McKinley went off the field. Derek Shelby comes in his stead. And now you got a little razzle-dazzle. And Aguilar's going to throw the ball.
Oh, my God. He on X Games mode.
Thanks, Jared. It's always a pleasure to be on the show. Now, I'm going to be breaking down to you the Philly special, which is, in my opinion, the greatest play of all time for numerous reasons. Now, here's a guy who's Nick Foles. He's going to take the snap. And this guy's going to be coming over here like this. Nick Foles is going to hand the ball off to him, and so the defense is going to think it's a running play. Because now, let me tell you, here's a guy with the ball who's not the quarterback. You think he's going to be running off field. But here comes Trey Burton over here. And now what's going to happen is this guy's going to lateral the ball back to Trey Burton. Now, Trey Burton is a professional tight end. He's not someone who's going to go out there and throw the ball. He's not someone who's going to be out there running the ball. He's a catcher. So he catches the ball, you think that's his catch of the day. He's going to run up the field. But no, this whole entire time, mind you, Nick Foles, who's the quarterback, has been running up the field and up the sideline. And all in the defense's head, they're thinking, this guy's a passer. He's already done his handoff. He's out of the play. He can't be there anymore. That's what's crazy about this play, because now Trey Burton, who's not a quarterback, ends up throwing the ball like he was a quarterback. And I've never seen anyone besides a quarterback throw a ball ever on any level of football. And now Nick Foles, who's the quarterback, isn't supposed to be catching the ball. He's supposed to be the one throwing the ball. He actually ends up catching the ball. And what's crazy is that he's the quarterback. He's not supposed to catch. This guy's not supposed to catch the ball. Nick Foles is right here, not supposed to catch the ball, and that's insane. It's so insane. What makes me so excited about this play? It's so crazy. Thanks for having me on the show.
Thanks, Coach Magoo. One of the biggest headlines this week was the lack of execution in the red zone by the Atlanta Falcons. For more on this and the disappearance of Julio Jones, we go back to Detective Randy in the Falcons locker room. Is Julio Jones behind the door? Is Julio Jones in the toilet behind the door? Is Julio Jones under my hat? Is Julio Jones in the shower? Is Julio Jones under the shampoo bottle? Is Julio Jones under the bath mat? No. The game of the week this week was the matchup of the Saints versus the Bucks that resulted in an 88-point shootout, with the greater offense coming out on top. The game left everyone with decent morals begging Ryan Fitzpatrick to be so good that the Bucks finally dropped Jameis Winston's ass. Thanks for tuning in on This Week in the National Football League. Do you need fantasy advice? Do you have questions about your team and how they're going to do this week? Tweet at me.